the puppy with white and brown spots wiggled his nose at the dull gray garden. Yawn. Nothing ever happened here. He wished something exciting would take place, like a beautiful butterfly or a big juicy worm. Nearby, Mimi the cat groomed herself, her shiny red bow bobbing. She looked up at the boring garden too. If only something interesting would appear, like a little bird or some tasty fish. And high in the trees of the dull garden lived Paco the parrot with his bright green feathers. Squawk! He wished something amazing would happen, like an enormous juicy mango or a bunch of sweet bananas. But one day, while the puppy Lou chased butterflies, the cat Mimi hunted bugs, and the parrot Paco sang to the trees, they all heard a mysterious voice. Listen, bring back the colors, bring back the colors. They searched everywhere. But what did that mean? Where were the colors? The puppy Lou sniffed at a gray rosebush. The cat Mimi licked a dull leaf. The parrot Paco pecked at a twig. No color, no color, squawked Paco, as he had never seen any colors before. The garden must always have been this way. As they walked through the pale trees, they found a stone sign. It glowed faintly and read, "Find the colors, bring them back." Now they knew what they had to do. But where could they look for colors? The puppy Lou tilted his head. The cat Mimi swished her tail. The parrot Paco flapped his wings. "I know," shouted Paco. "Look at the flowers." The garden had many flowers, but all the petals were white. The puppy Lou barked. The cat Mimi meowed. The parrot Paco cried, "Where can we find the colors?" Suddenly, a tiny red bug caught the puppy Lou's eye. He ran over, barked, then sat down, wagging his tail. The cat Mimi cautiously approached the rose and whispered, "Red." The parrot Paco repeated, "Red for rose," and as if by magic, the rose burst into a bright red flower. Light spread across the gray soil. The dull stones shone, and for the first time, the garden was filled with color. The path ahead was still dark, but as the puppy Lou walked along it, he noticed the gray bushes before him glowing with red berries. The cat Mimi batted at one and purred. The parrot Paco cried, "Red for berries." As they continued on, the flowers became brighter and more colorful. But the puppy Lou noticed that the sun ahead was quite dim. He barked, tilting his head. The cat Mimi flicked her whiskers and asked, "Can't you see?" The parrot Paco flew higher and shouted, "Yellow." The puppy Lou looked up and saw that the sun was yellow. He barked, "Bright yellow," and as the sun shone down on the colorful garden, everything grew warm and happy. The second color was now shining, but soon they came to a dry bush with not a single leaf. The puppy Lou whined. The cat Mimi sniffed the air. The parrot Paco cried, "How can there be no colors here?" Suddenly, a single leaf flickered faintly on the bush. The puppy Lou ran over and gently pawed at it. The cat Mimi crept closer and said, "Green." The parrot Paco repeated, "Green for leaves," and as the leaf felt the sunshine, it glowed, and suddenly the bush, all the trees, and even the grass sparkled with fresh new green life. The garden swayed in the breeze with hundreds of new leaves. Next, they came upon a shallow puddle. The puppy Lou lapped at the water, but it had no flavor. The cat Mimi dipped her paw in carefully and pulled it out again quickly. The parrot Paco cried, "What a shame! No color, no flavor. How can this be?" Then the puppy Lou barked at the sky and noticed that the sun was shining through the clouds now and making a bright blue patch. He pointed with his nose. The cat Mimi stared at the puddle. The parrot Paco flew up and down, shouting, "Blue for sky, blue for sea," and as the puddle drank in the blue sunlight, it glowed and suddenly it too was filled with shimmering blue water. Small streams trickled down the hills, forming sparkling rivers that flowed through the garden. Happy fish leaped from the water in delight, and as the garden drank its fill, the flowers stood tall and proud. Next, the puppy Lou looked up at the sky again, which was glowing mostly blue, but a thin sliver of orange remained. He barked and asked, "What about the orange?" The cat Mimi looked at the setting sun. The parrot Paco circled overhead. "Orange for sunset," squawked Paco. But the puppy Lou shook his head. "We can't reach it yet." The cat Mimi pointed with her paw. "We need to cross the rivers and walk under the trees." So they did. The puppy Lou splashed through the rivers. The cat Mimi stalked under the trees. And the parrot Paco flew ahead, calling out, "Hold your hands." When they finally reached the other side, they looked up to see that the sun was just touching the horizon, painting the sky with streaks of orange and red. The puppy Lou wagged his tail and raced towards a red rose bush. The cat Mimi tapped a yellow flower. The parrot Paco shouted, "Red and yellow," and as sparks flew between the red and yellow, they swirled upwards in a dazzling burst of orange. Higher and higher they went until the entire sky blazed with the color of the sunset. Then deeper in the garden, a single butterfly flickered weakly. Its wings were faded and pale. The puppy Lou trotted after it. The cat Mimi followed closely. The parrot Paco cried, "What color should we use on this butterfly?" The puppy Lou sniffed the butterfly and answered, "I don't know, but we need to help it quickly." The cat Mimi tilted her head. "Look at its wings." As the butterfly fluttered, its wings touched a blue flower and a red leaf, and the two colors mixed, swirling together on its wings in a beautiful purple mist. Soon, the butterfly flew away, making the other flowers glow with its color as it passed. The puppy Lou barked happily. The cat Mimi purred. The parrot Paco cried, "Look, it's purple for petals and leaves." But as they watched, a second butterfly appeared, flying past the blue flowers and red leaves. Yet its wings were still white. The puppy Lou wondered aloud, "Will it stay white forever?" The cat Mimi shook her head. "We need to show it some color." They turned to search for their friend, but it had flown away. "Quick!" called Paco. "Follow me." They found the first butterfly sitting on a blue stone. The puppy Lou nudged it with his nose. The cat Mimi touched a red flower nearby. The parrot Paco shouted, "Red and blue," and as the two colors swirled together, they mixed and swirled on the butterfly's wings, making them shine in dazzling purple. The butterfly was so happy that it fluttered around them, sprinkling the garden with purple flower pollen as it flew. Then more butterflies appeared, and as they flew by, the puppy Lou barked, "Look, they're glowing in white." But soon they saw that the butterflies were leaving trails of color behind them. The cat Mimi twitched her ears. The parrot Paco cried, "They're mixing the colors." They watched as a butterfly that had been near the red rose flew past the yellow sunflowers, leaving a trail of orange behind. Another butterfly that had been by the blue river flew past the red berries, leaving a trail of purple behind. One butterfly that had started off white flew by the green trees, leaving a trail of green behind. The puppy Lou thought for a moment. The cat Mimi looked at the rainbow drawing on the stone. The parrot Paco shouted, "All together." The puppy Lou nudged the red flower. The cat Mimi tapped the yellow sun. The parrot Paco flew by the blue water. And as red, yellow, and blue swirled together, they spread across the garden in the glowing rainbow. The butterflies joined in and shone with new colors: pink, orange, violet, and more. Soon, the entire garden bloomed with every color imaginable. The puppy Lou barked with joy as he raced across the rainbow flowers. The cat Mimi twirled with her bow shining bright. The parrot Paco soared above, crying, "Colors, colors!" The sky, the flowers, the water, and the trees all shone. And the stone sign glowed one last time. Together, colors make the world bright. The puppy Lou rolled in the colorful grass. The cat Mimi patted a flower proudly. The parrot Paco hovered with glowing wings. And as they played in the sparkly garden, they knew they had made the world a happier place. The end. Did you enjoy the color garden with the puppy Lou, the cat Mimi, and the parrot Paco? Please like and subscribe for more magical stories. See you next time. Bye.